Welcome to Duck Duck Hoops. It's episode 6. Back, not together in studio, or sort of studio, in Bartlett over the StreamYard airwaves once again. Charlie Duckworth.
Matt Duckworth. How's everybody doing?
We hope you're doing good. We hope you're staying safe on this Wednesday night. Just joining us here to talk about some college hoops. There's some tip-offs that have already happened. The big one right now, though, is Providence playing UConn or hosting UConn. Somehow, someway, Ed Cooley, he threw a water bottle at a kid a couple weeks ago, and now he's got Providence up 47-37. And if that holds, that is kind of a stunner.
Yeah, it's definitely. It's going to mess my top 10 up, that's for sure.
Yeah. At close, it was minus 9.5 UConn on DraftKings Sportsbook. So, who knows what happens?
The guys will get it together in the second half, but that is alarming right there.
It is. So, let's get into it. Let's talk about last week's action. Some of the action from last week. So, you got a game that you want to highlight first?
Well, for me, it was Nebraska, number 13 in the nation, Nebraska, beating Michigan State 58-56.
That game was crazy.
Well, it was, and it really, I was wondering if Nebraska was the real deal, if it was just, they had played kind of a weak schedule or what it was. They took out Izzo and the boys, and it was a close game, but undefeated Cornhuskers right now, Charlie.
Yeah, 15-0 on the season. It is a party in Lincoln. They stormed that court. I watched it on my phone because we were watching Gonzaga Seattle at that point, which is a sentence I didn't think I'd say. Yeah. Is that I would rather watch Seattle over Nebraska and Michigan State. But, that game was just kind of I don't want to say a stunner, but I felt kind of stunned. I thought Michigan State coming in, they were going to go into Lincoln, which is already a tough environment, and play this Nebraska team who have not really fully proven themselves. They beat Illinois and Creighton earlier this year, but I'll give it to them. They beat Michigan State, and they just kind of won on every side of the court, really. It wasn't just, they got lucky and made a couple shots. I mean, they won a gritty 58-56, a classic Big Ten game. If anything, low scoring, just defense. I mean, it came down to free throws, and Michigan State couldn't hit those free throws at the end.
Yeah, it really did. And, that proved a lot to me that Nebraska is going to be in the mix with Illinois, Michigan State, and, of course, the big dogs, Purdue and everyone else in that conference. That was a big one for me. One of the other stunners from that night was Louisville getting beat by Stanford.
That one was crazy. I watched the last few minutes of that one live. It was on ACC Network. And just the way the game kept on going, I was thinking, Stanford's going to throw this away. And they held on. I mean, it was a great environment there in NorCal. They just kind of, I don't know how to word it about Louisville. It felt like Louisville just couldn't hit their shots in the closeout, and Stanford, I don't want to say got lucky because of that. They weren't playing real decent defense at the end of the game. So, but they kind of did luck out at the end that the Louisville just could not hit a shot to save themselves.
Yeah, Louisville, they crank a lot of threes up over there. That was surprising to me. They're a very talented team, in my opinion, but they are streaky. And if they don't hit shots, I mean, Stanford just proved they can be beat by anybody.
Yeah, and that other result from Friday, I was talking about it earlier. Gonzaga 80, Seattle 72. Gonzaga, a team that we've had consistently in that 5, 6, or 7 spot in our top 10s this year. We kept on talking last week on our conference preview about how weak the West Coast Conference was and how it's Gonzaga's, and they're probably going to go undefeated in it unless they slip up against St. Mary's. They almost slipped up against Seattle in Spokane. It was a rough game. They were down double digits at one point. Really, Jun Suk Yo from Seattle. He's from South Korea. He had 10 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, or 2 assists, but it wouldn't look like that on the if you were watching the game because he was jumping for those rebounds. He rebounded a couple over Graham Ike like he was the 7-footer. It was crazy to look at. And I mean, Gonzaga pulls out at the end, but does that spell a little not disaster, but a little chance of something happening this year against this Gonzaga team? Does it expose some weaknesses?
It doesn't for me. I feel like it was a tough ball game. Gonzaga still got the victory. I'm not sounding any alarms on that. I think that Seattle played their butts off. All credit to them. But I'm not too worried about that. I think Gonzaga is still a really good team, and I think that they're going to make a deep run.
Yeah, and I do want to highlight one more game from that Friday night slate. Number 2, Michigan playing number 24 USC.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan 96, USC 66 in a game where Yaxel Lindenborg didn't play the second half because of a leg injury or because of a calf injury. But it was just Michigan having dudes step up. Perez Johnson Jr., a career high 29, and they on SportsCenter that night they kept on talking about how he was just able to spin off the defenders. And I mean, he was slamming some dunks in there.
Yeah, he had some highlight dunks in that game. He is a talented player. Dusty May's got a deep squad there with the Wolverines. And I know they had a close call, later in the week, but they are demolishing people. I mean, really putting a beat down on them. And that was an interesting thing, especially with their best player not playing for a big portion of it.
Yeah, so that was really all the games Friday night to highlight. Then going into Saturday, the big first kind of slate of conference games overall. Just going to do a brief overview of just some of the lesser results that we don't want to highlight, full on give a breakdown on. Alabama, another one. Kentucky suffers another one. 89-74 final in Tuscaloosa. Texas Tech dogged Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State team that's been kind of impressive this year. I mean, beat them by 22. Houston surviving a scare in Cincinnati, 67-60 final. Vandy beating South Carolina. Probably the weakest, I would say, of the SEC schools is in basketball right now, South Carolina. I feel like ACC, you put them in the ACC, they're a solid third place team, fourth place team in the ACC. I'm saying it. I think the worst teams in the SEC would kind of like in the ACC may or may not be.
I don't know about all that, but
that's my take right there.
I do agree with you. South Carolina kind of at the bottom of the conference, along with LSU. Neither one.
It's just different there, though.
Yeah, well, it may be different, but it's different in football and baseball. It's not really different in basketball and women's basketball. It is, but just before we move on, I know you've been sounding the alarm on Kentucky, and I've been like, "Oh, okay, hold on, he's going to get everything together." Pope has to get it together. They're in a dogfight with Missouri right now, down 1 at the half.
Yeah.
And, if they lose to Mizzou, then I'm willing to I'm jumping on the Charlie Duck bandwagon on this. I think that there's going to be some serious talk in Lexington about what are we doing.
I don't even know what you could like. Do you say if let's just say it's a rough year this year, right? Mm-hmm. They get let's throw them 8-line, 9-line team, okay. 10-line. Do you think they go, well, we made the tournament, not our best showing. Let's give Pope one more year and see if it was just a roster thing?
Yes, I do think that. I think that the only way that Pope's job is really in trouble with how much money that he's going to be owed and everything is if they don't make the tournament with that roster. That is a $25 million plus roster.
Yeah.
And they are not playing like it.
What would they need to place, you think, in the SEC to not make it in without winning the tournament?
9 or 10. 10 maybe.
All right. Well, let's see if they make that 9 threshold of yours. Then a game I do want to highlight down in Orlando, UCF. I mean, I don't even know. Their best start since 2010. the 2010-2011 season, they pull off an upset against Kansas. There, I saw they stormed the court. They had palm trees, inflatable palm trees.
I saw that. That was really neat.
Darren Peterson, 26, 8 for 17 from the field. But for UCF, I mean, their leading scorer, Riley Kugel, who, I mean, he only had 19 on the exact same shooting, 8 for 17 from the field. It was just UCF played like a team, whilst Kansas kind of just had their stars dominate it. It was just an all-around scoring effort. I mean, looking at UCF, Themis as well. That's a name right there, Themis. He had 16 as well. Not really any scoring off the bench, but Kansas, they had 3 double-digit scorers. Peterson, Council Jr., and Trey White. And Trey White scored 14, Council Jr. scored 20, Peterson scored 26, and that was about it for the scoring. Yeah. Badunga only had 8.
Well, and we can talk about this. I'm going to jump forward just because we're on the topic of Kansas and talk about how they did bounce back and beat TCU in overtime. But I'm a little worried out there about Peterson, and I'm a little worried about Coach Self as well. At the end of that game, Peterson checks himself out of the ball game with about 3 minutes left, then checks himself back into the ball game and hits the free throws. And, you know,
it's a cool story, but like, why did you pull yourself?
Why
didn't Bill Self slap him?
Hall of Fame coach. Why in the hell is he not snatching this guy up? I don't care if he's going to be this, that, and the other in the NBA. I personally think that out of the 3 big ones this year, Boozer, him, and AJ, he's the one I'm the lowest on. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, Boozer's not going to translate well to the NBA. Maybe that's so. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm questioning heart with Peterson. I'm wondering about some of these injuries. And now I'm starting to get in my bag a little bit about Coach Self and this team. You know, they pull through, get that victory. But like you said, losing to UCF, all credit to UCF, man.
Yeah.
They like you said, they played a team ball game and they really hustled that hard. The other one from that night or the day that really got me was SMU dogging on the Tar Heels by
I do have one thing that I got to show you. We got some comments right now. We got a question. So this is about Darren Peterson. This is from our very own Mark Manley right here. Is Peterson hurting his draft stock by I'm going to assume from just the injury perspective, him not being available, and also, I mean, last night just pulling himself out of nowhere without Bill Self even having a reaction to it?
You know, I don't know how much he's actually hurting his draft stock because, I mean, he's a hell of a player. He's going to be a decent NBA player, but he's not helping himself, Mark. That's for sure. There's been a lot of questions. There's Norton Hurd is a famous, what's it called? Nike.
EYBL?
Yes, coach here in Memphis. He coaches Team Thad. Shout out to Coach Nord. He talked about Peterson when he played ball in that circuit, and that he was kind of there were some nights a lot of coaches thought he was able to go, and he didn't, or he didn't go full throttle. So you know, Mark, you may have a point there. If this continues to go on throughout the season, the talent's there. The guy is a phenomenal scorer. And I think he's a decent facilitator too, but I'm starting to really question, you know, like I said, when it comes to those big 3, he's 3 right now, and he's going to have to move himself up. And I may even look at Koa Pete or somebody over him, dude. Like, it was a weird situation to see that. I'm watching it, and I'm like, what is going on there? That, you know, you could see that with some mid-major or some smaller, you know, this is Bill freaking Self here, and this is the Kansas.
It's a lifetime contract.
I mean, dude, it was bizarre. Well, you know, I don't want to sound the alarm on it too much because I understand how talented the guy is, but I found it to be strange. I really did.
Absolutely. And so let's get back to talking about SMU. I mean, North Carolina, they went into Dallas and they got beat. I mean, 97-83 final in that one.
A government mule is what they got.
Yeah, it was
not close.
It was bad. And that, you know what that game was on?
No.
The CW.
Was it really?
They got beat down on the CW.
Well, I was busy that day, but I'm not gonna lie, I had a parlay that involved them, and I looked at the score, and then I saw some of the highlights afterwards. Coach Brown's team did not look good, and they're a team that I've been kind of slightly favorable on. Thought that they've been playing above what most of the people thought they would. That was a tough loss there. I tell you what, though, Charlie, the game that really stood out for me that day, which Houston Cincinnati was a close ball game. I understand BYU handled Kansas State. Arkansas, man, at Bud Walton, putting it on the Vols.
That one was, I mean, a stunning result. And it kind of stunned me, the reaction after the game. I believe it was Brazil and someone else talking. They were in the press conference. They got caught on a hot mic. It was Brazil and Acuff talking about I'm trying to remember whose free throws it is. I'm trying to pull up the box score and see who shot a lot of free throws for Tennessee. I believe it was a Mint from Tennessee. And they were like, he shot 11 free throws and only made 5. He's trash. And they got caught on a hot mic saying that, basically. He sucks. And honestly, they walked the walk. I feel like they could talk the talk a little bit. Mint only had 13 on 4 for 9 shooting. And Acuff had 29 on 9 for 6.
I'm going to tell you something. This is a team that I've been super high on. Still am. That was impressive because Rick Barnes got a good Tennessee Vols team. I know going into Bud Walton's a tough place to win, but Coach Kyle's got them boys playing some good ball right now.
Absolutely. So let's go into the next day's games. Looking at Sunday, see if we have any Sunday highlights here. As takes forever. No games that were good on Sunday. Boring games on Sunday.
Tuesday's when it got interesting.
Tuesday is when it got interesting. First of all, Michigan holding on by a thread against Penn State, 74-72 final in University Park. I mean,
I think this is much like the Gonzaga final with Seattle. Good teams need to be tested every once in a while. Michigan had been beating people by an average of like 25 points. They found a way to win a close game. And my hat's off to that Penn State squad, but I think Coach May is probably happy that his team got tested the way they did. They didn't shoot the ball real well that night. A lot of the shots that have been falling, a lot of the inside play that they got, interior play was not there, but they still figured out a way to beat the Nittany Lions. So props to them.
And looking at some other results here, Duke going on the road, going to the Yum Center, beating Louisville by 11. They were down at half in that game. And I mean, just it's another one where you could say it, Cam Boozer.
Yeah, I watched that.
What a player.
Boozer took over. Louisville kind of, once again, their shots weren't falling, but Boozer was a man down there in that paint, man. He is a heck of a ball player. And, I listen to a lot of sports radio, and a lot of people are like, oh, he's a great college player. He's going to be an average NBA player. I don't know, man. Like, he's got a pretty good skill set on him. I understand that he's a little undersized for where he's going to play in the NBA. But I'm going to tell you right now, Coach Shire, he's got a squad. And to be able to go into the Yum Center and get that victory was huge. Another thing from that day, Charlie, looking at the next game, what about Florida bouncing back after losing to Mizzou and putting that butt whooping on Georgia?
I mean, if you're Dennis Gates, you just took the biggest chip off of your shoulder right there, because Florida going and beating Georgia like that, being a ranked team like that, adds so much to that win. Now, you got to think about it, because that's a blowout rank win, and it adds to the net a little bit, adds to the KenPom, whatever the committee uses. Who cares?
Well, I think Georgia's been I'm not saying that the Bulldogs don't have a good team, but I think they've kind of played a little light schedule, and I think that they caught an angry Gator squad that is still full of talent, and the defending champs are, in my opinion, I'm not sounding the alarm on them like I am Kentucky a little bit. I feel like they still got a very good team there. And I think the Bulldogs are going to be fine too. But I think that number 16 ranking was a little false.
It was a little just
suspect.
hopeful
Yeah.
right there, if anything. There was one of a non-ranked game I wanted to highlight, still featuring SEC teams. I bet you know what I'm talking about here. A&M Auburn.
Yeah.
What a finish! As I got a special guest trying to join me here on this bottom right corner or bottom left corner.
A lot of fireworks in that game, weren't there?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. The game-winning 3 getting called off at the end there. Auburn, if that shot counts, it is a fire at Toomer's corner.
Tell you what, man. Coach Pearl lost his mind. Coach Pearl Jr. lost his mind over that, and I kind of, I understand. But after a review, I mean,
hey, ball don't lie.
The call was made, so
yeah, ball don't lie.
Ball don't lie.
Looking as well, Minnesota 70-67 against Iowa. Another win for Mizzou. Another proverbial win. They beat Minnesota earlier this year. Iowa 19 in the nation. They've kind of flown under the radar for a Big Ten team.
They took a loss to Iowa State and now lost to Minnesota. I'm not real sure about Iowa. I'm not sure where I've got them at. I know that they're going to have to get it together because it doesn't get any easier for them in the Big Ten. Losing games to the Golden Gophers is not going to help your seeding in the tournament for sure.
And one other unranked versus ranked win, Oklahoma State 87-76 UCF. UCF got that top 25 rating, and it's going to be snatched right back away from them because Okie State just, I mean.
Well, I think UCF was still flying high off that win, and they went in there and the Cowboys said, we're going to pop your bubble and bring you back down to reality.
Yeah, it was just all really. There was 2 lead changes in the game, but it was all Oklahoma State.
Yeah, it was all Cowboys.
That game. And so that leads us to today. Now,
well, before we move on, I do want to highlight Houston beating.
Oh
Texas
Houston Tech.
Houston
forgot about that one.
It's not going to blow people out. They're not going to. They play a sluggish style that Coach Sampson has, but they keep winning ball games.
Absolutely.
So,
Going to today's games, though, Providence still up against UConn. That game just got out of halftime a few minutes ago. Iowa State is tied 10-10 with Baylor. First few minutes of that game. Baylor, though, they got an NBA player on their team. It was James Nnaji. He's actually in the game right now as we speak. So I want to ask you, how do you feel about NBA players being allowed to come back and play and have eligibility?
So he played in the G League, correct?
I'm pretty sure he did play in the G League, yes, but he was part of the Cat trade. He was part of the Cat to the Knicks trade.
Did he ever play any minutes in the NBA?
Let's answer that question. I don't
think he did. Regardless of the fact, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I do think that maybe there should be a happy median here somewhere. Maybe like baseball, where you can declare for the draft. Team can own your rights. I don't know. It's getting
that's kind of where it was in a weird spot. Like they owned his rights and traded it away in the Cat trade. He was with FC Barcelona.
Yeah.
In Spain and was on loan every year basically in the EuroLeague. He went to Barcelona B. Then
I don't like it. But I understand where Pandora's box has kind of been opened here. I feel like maybe you should be able to declare for the draft, and if you go undrafted, maybe you can get some eligibility back.
I think that's fair. I think you should get your eligibility back if you go undrafted.
But if you're drafted or you sign a 2-way I know that college sports is no longer amateur sports. I get that. It's a feeder system, especially in basketball and football. Players are being paid now, which I have no issue with that. Maybe I have some issues with the way the system's set up, but here's what I don't like. I don't like the fact that you can declare, catch you a two-way or whatever. I mean, this guy got paid NBA money. I figure he has to have.
I mean, he was part of 2 trades. I feel like he must have been.
How the hell does this guy get a year eligibility, but Dane Dangerous couldn't get one for Memphis? I mean, I don't know how to sort all this out, but I think there's got to be some common sense to this. I really do. I think that if you declare to be a professional, the problem where it gets murky is, son, they make an argument, well, if you played professional ball in Europe. Well, a lot of guys in Europe are 16 playing professional ball.
Yeah. There's academies there. They don't have colleges.
It's
really.
Different. It's absolutely different. I agree. It's an interesting story, but short answer, I don't like it. I think that there's got to be something to be done there. This kid shouldn't, I don't like the fact that we've got 27, 28-year-old men playing college basketball. It just doesn't seem right to me.
No, and it brings up a real question about just the portal as a whole in the future. I feel like they got to finally come up with something down pat. I was talking about this today in a football-related sense. Just it's more the fact that you have these guys, and I'm going to use a football example. TJ Finley, he committed to LSU in 2020. He has played for 5 schools, and just declared for the portal again for his 6th time. I don't think that people should be able to transfer 6 times.
No, I don't either. There's got to be some sort of limit on it.
I don't know if you go back to the old way where it's 1 free transfer. Then if you want to transfer again, you got to sit out a year. I'd say that's a little too harsh on a transfer. I'd say they have to sit out like not half the season, but like a couple games or so.
Yeah, I don't know. This is probably a discussion for a later time, but one thing I've kicked around, I've talked with some people, and I kind of like this idea is if you transfer, I think, barring some kind of weird stuff happening, I think you should commit to 2 years at the university.
Yeah.
I don't know how to fix all this. I mean, there's got to be people that are way smarter than me that can come up with a good idea for this. But I don't like the fact that this cat was involved in 2 trades and now he's playing for Baylor.
I don't like the fact that he has an NBA page.
Yeah.
On the NBA website.
Well, I feel like that's taking a spot away from some kid that could redshirt or some kid that might be a lower level guy. It just doesn't make sense to me. So
yeah,
not a fan.
Absolutely not. And so now that we're off our diatribe about how sports are going too crazy, our old man yells at cloud type moment here. The biggest game tonight by far lays in Nashville, Tennessee. It is Alabama, number 13 in the nation, going to play the 14-0 Vanderbilt Commodores, number 11 in the nation. The spread is at Vandy -3.5. The money line is what ESPN is telling you to take is Bama +140. Vandy is +166 or -166 on the money line.
Give me Bama on the line. I think they're going to expose the Commodores tonight.
Ooh.
I'm not saying Vanderbilt's not a good team. I just Alabama's riding a little hot hand. I mean, I understand that the game's in Nashville. They're going to be fired up, but give me Bama. If I was a betting man, which I am, I'd take Bama on the line.
All right, and then going on to Saturday, we got a few good games. Saturday, we got just to start off at 11 a.m. Nebraska goes on the road. They play Indiana. I'm just going to highlight this one. I think this could be a trap game for Nebraska. They're riding off that high of beating Michigan State and finally kind of gaining that national relevance to the program. I mean, this is a program that's never won a game in the tournament before.
Yeah, that's true. We saw them lose one in person.
Yeah, they've kind of been bottom feeders in basketball. They've had good basketball years sometimes, but it's just they've never taken that step, never gotten that spotlight like their football teams have been
Yeah.
in the past. So I think though that this could be a trap game at the Assembly Hall. I think there's a chance.
Mm.
What were you gonna say?
I was going to ask you, are you willing to make a prediction on that? Are you willing to say that the Hoosiers beat the Cornhuskers?
I'm not willing to say that.
Okay.
I'm gonna lay off that prediction right there. I'm not taking the risk.
Okay.
I've
I
already
got
been
you.
wrong about Cal basketball in the past week, so I'm not gonna do that.
I think you're absolutely right. It could be a trap game. I just feel like Nebraska's riding the hot hand. I think they're going to go in there and they're going to pull off a close one.
We got a good one in Cameron Indoor. We got number 24 SMU coming in to Duke, number 6 in the nation. Duke has showed some stumbles in their past couple games. They've not played to the full potential, I'd say. The Louisville game, they won by double digits, but they played Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech almost beat them.
Yeah,
Florida
that was a
State
good ball game.
Florida State held them to within 4 a couple of days after. I mean, the Louisville win is a good morale booster, yes, but is there a chance for an SMU upset? Who knows? AK,
And this
there's not.
Where's this one being played at?
Cameron Indoor.
Give me Duke by double digits.
Oh, you're gonna go Duke by double digits?
I'm not saying SMU's not a good team. I mean, hell, they just put 90-something points up on North Carolina. Going into Cameron Indoor Stadium and doing that against Duke, especially this Duke team, no.
I'm gonna go SMU keeps it close. Duke wins by 6.
Okay.
All right, our next one on the agenda, it's going to come on Sunday. Not a lot of Saturday games this week, or fun Saturday games in a sense. It's kind of a lot of top teams playing bottom feeder. Top team plays bottom feeder after kind of the first real games last week. Looking Sunday at 11 a.m., it will be a potential good one in Carver Hawkeye Arena. It's going to be Iowa taking on Illinois. I mean, number 19 Iowa, number 16 Illinois, 11-3. The Fighting Illini comes in here, and the Iowa Drake Bulldog combination here is 12-3. And
I know is it 2 straight losses? I know they lost to Iowa State and then turn around, lost the last game.
No, it's not. It's not 2 straight. They beat UCLA on the 3rd. Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, they've had a few games since. I mean, their 3 losses are Iowa State, Michigan State, Minnesota. So, yeah. I mean, 2 or 3 ain't bad. 2
one's a little head scratcher, and a lot of this is going to depend on what Illinois team shows up. When they show up and you got Stojakovic and some of that foreign connection that's really dropping buckets in, they're as good as anybody in the country. They don't always show up to play, it seems like. In some of their losses, they've been bad losses. With this game being in Iowa, I think it'll be close. I like the Hawkeyes to go ahead and pull a victory out of this one. I'm
going to say the kid from Liberty, Missouri, Bennett Sturts, my big dog. I saw him last year at Arch Madness. I he was like a few sections from me after the Drake game on the semifinal day. I'm gonna say the Hawkeyes win. I'm gonna say they kind of shock everybody. I'd say they win by 10 against Illinois.
Okay,
yeah, that's my prediction right there. Let's look around. Monday, there is no big games at all. Tuesday, we got a good one, I'd say, in Louisville. We got Virginia. This coming off of was it 3 overtime or 4 overtime?
I think it was 3. You talking about against Voltech?
Yeah, Virginia. A couple weeks ago, Commonwealth Clash on. That
was a heck of a ball.
That was a great ball game right there. They took it on the chin in that one, but they're still ranked 23 in the nation. They go on the road to the Yum Center. We'll play Louisville. And I think the thing that you said about Illinois stands pat with Louisville. Which Louisville
agree.
team shows up? Is this going to be Louisville against Kentucky, or is this going to be Louisville against Duke? Like who's going to be the one that appears?
Well, let me rub my crystal ball. Louisville by double digits. I feel like they're going to get back on the winning streak. I feel like Virginia, one of the knocks with them is they have trouble scoring the basketball. That's what happened to them in that 3 overtime classic with Va Tech. They could not buy a bucket, dude. Like, it just was my bad. They go through long stretches without being able to score. And I just don't feel like you can do that against the Cardinal. They've got too many guys that can, there's 5 guys on that team on any night that can put up 20 points.
Yeah.
Easy. So I like Louisville big in that ball game.
I started smiling when you started giving your prediction because I was like, I got the exact opposite.
Dude,
I got the Cavs by double digits.
Wow.
I think that Louisville is going to have a sort of rough stretch for a second, then they're going to just coast on. And I think that the Duke loss kind of accelerated when I thought the sort of midseason implosion of a few games would happen.
You've been kind of thinking they were suspect for a while, so that checks. But I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one, son.
And I think our last prediction of the week, because I'm not really going to do Wednesday, because if we're back on next Wednesday, actually there is one game before we go on next Wednesday that I'll do quick. But we got Iowa State, the Cyclone. They got a tough one. They got to go into Fog Allen. They got to play Kansas, who has shown some weak points, yes, but this is still Lawrence, Kansas, hosting a top 5 team. Anything can happen in that field house.
Well, I think we're going to figure out if Iowa State's the real deal or not. Because, the big win over Purdue earlier this year, they beat Iowa. They got big wins, but like you said, going into Fog Allen, that's a tough environment. I know that they're not maybe the Kansas teams from, a few years ago, but it's just going to be interesting to see. We'll see if Peterson plays.
I mean, who knows?
Who knows? No, all jokes aside, I think that the Cyclones are a good team. I think that might be their first loss of the year, though. And it's not that I think that Kansas is a better team. I think Iowa State's due for a loss, especially now that there's a lot of national media out about, Peterson and all this stuff. Look for Bill Self to get the reins pulled in here. Give me the Jayhawks, 5 or 6 point win.
Iowa State went to Mackey Arena, and they dogged Purdue.
They did?
Iowa State played Iowa. They didn't dog Iowa.
No, they didn't.
They only beat them by 6. Iowa State's also 14-0 right now. Give me the Cyclones by 9.
Okay.
I think that this is just a different Iowa State team. I think Kansas is Kentucky. If Kentucky was good at basketball this year, like they have the issues of Kentucky a little bit, where like it doesn't seem like the players sometimes show the effort, and the coaches, it feels like they've kind of lost the team for a sec. But they actually play good basketball. Kentucky does not play good basketball right now, or has not played good basketball in a bit. So I think Iowa State takes this one in Lawrence. So we're gonna take a quick break as we get ready for our top 10 and a top 5. We're gonna have a message from American Hostile Championship Wrestling.
Caruthersville, Missouri. It's time to get hostile as American Hostile Championship Wrestling and the Unified Wrestling Alliance returns to the Diane Sayer Rec Center on Saturday, January 10th. Bell time is 7:30 p.m. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. Ringside tickets are $13. General admission are only $11. You're going to see all the stars of the UWA and American Hostile Championship Wrestling. Do not miss it.
Hey,
Buster H.
You heard the man.
You
heard the man. Do not miss it. New Year's knockout.
I mean, there's no secret to me and you both wrestling fans, and there's many an independent show I took you to growing up. Many of those that Mark was on the bill. If you guys, let's just say it, man. There's not a whole lot to do in Pembroke County. During the week you've got high school basketball games, but like if you guys want to have a good time, I guarantee you go out there, take your kids. It's going to be a good time for the whole family. And man, if I was up there, I tell you what, I'd probably be sitting ringside.
Yeah, absolutely, I would.
Absolutely.
The one bad part, Packers play the Bears that night. I gotta sit in my dark room and watch the game.
Well, I hope American Hostile packs out the wreck, and should be a good time for everybody.
Yeah, and right here we got a score update from I'm gonna assume the Mizzou Kentucky game, tied at 49. So thank you to our correspondent, boots on the ground, Mark Manley, over here.
You know, Mark's tuned in there, man. He's got
man of many hats.
Hey, I hope the Tigers do pull it out because you're going there next year, and I'm from Missouri side. I do root for them a little bit, but I also am an agent of chaos, and I just think it would be hilarious to listen to sports radio after Kentucky takes another W or another L. Excuse me.
This is getting interesting. 8.5 left. 73-63. Providence still leads. So. All
right. Well, let's get to the top 10 before I
regret
anything crazy happens.
All right. So, do you want to start us off with your honorable mentions?
I will. I've got 3 this week. BYU seems like they are always in my honorable mentions. They can't quite crack it. I need to see them beat a big team. I need to see them, take somebody out. AJ, I think, is the number 1 pick in the draft. Great team, but Illinois is my other one, or my second one. We'll see what they do against Iowa. I think they've got the talent to make a deep run this year in the tournament. It's just, are they going to show up? And finally, the team that I think is going to go down to Alabama tonight, but I think it's still a really good squad. I've got Vandy as my other honorable mention.
I got 4 honorable mentions this week. I got Vandy as my last honorable mention. I think that they've played a respectable game of basketball. I think it might come to an end tonight against Bama. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure about that one fully. Then I got Texas Tech. They took a rough one to Houston last night, yes, but they are still that team. They are still there. I think that they have one of the best front courts in the nation, with Jacob Toppin involved there. And I got Alabama there as well as one of my honorable mentions. And I have Arkansas as my last one. Just for now. Arkansas is going to be in there next week. Trust me, I'm telling you, Arkansas is going to be in there next week. I just got to give it one more week of play.
All right, at number 10, I've got the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Undefeated Nebraska Cornhuskers. Man, I never in a million years thought they would crack my top 10 this year, but they just keep on winning. I think that they're going to get another win coming up, and they've earned it. So I've got Nebraska at 10.
So at my number 10, I also have Nebraska.
Oh, wow.
I think that they are a very good squad. They just kind of need to continue. They just need to be consistent with it. I mean, obviously, they're probably going to take a loss to Michigan, right?
We'll see.
Who knows? I mean, who knows? But right now, I mean, you got to put them at number 3 or so in the Big Ten right now as like one of the best teams. I mean, they beat Michigan State, who I think is quite possibly the second best team in the Big Ten. Still, I'm just not sure about it because you got Purdue there, you got Nebraska there now. Illinois is kind of still punching at the bottom, trying to get back in there into that conversation.
Yeah. At number 9, and I actually thought about ranking this team higher, and I think they will end up ranking higher. I just need to get more wins. The Arkansas Razorbacks. Coach Cal has got a good squad down there this year. I've told you this before that I think they can win the SEC possibly. even if they don't win the SEC, if you held my feet to the fire right now and you said take a team from the SEC that will make the farthest run, I think it's going to be the Razorbacks. Sweet 16 in his first year last year, I could easily, a lot of things happen. It depends on seeding. I could easily see this as a Final Four Elite 8 team this year. So give me the Razorbacks at 9.
I mean, I could see it. My number 9, I got BYU. They've just been consistently good. It's not like they've played like a big, challenge game, right? But they've just been good. It's like just straight played clean basketball. AJ Divance is one of the best players in the nation. I know you got Cam Boozer right there. I think Divance is the best in the nation by far, or not by far, but by a little.
Okay. At number 8, and I may regret this by the end of the night, I've got the UConn Huskies. Just the body of work's been impressive. I actually had them a little higher before, so maybe I had some intuition something might happen tonight. But I think that they're a good, solid squad. We'll see how they handle conference play, but give me UConn at 8.
My number 8, I still got Michigan State at my 8.
Okay.
I think that the loss of Nebraska is bad, yes. Only a 2-point loss, though. It's just they got to clean it up. It up. And if I trust any coach to clean up some mistakes, Tom Izzo's probably number 1 on that list.
I got that. Speaking of good coaches, I've got Houston at number 7. Kelvin Sampson in the squad, pulling out close victories. Texas Tech, you had mentioned, one of your honorable mentions, really good team. I wish Houston could score a little more. That would make me feel a little better. But, I mean, this is how they win ball games. This is how they've done it for years. So give me the Cougs at 7.
My number 7, I got Purdue. That Iowa State loss is still just holding heavy on me, right?
Is it?
And I just need them to kind of get a big win, get a big ranked win up there. Because then I think that I don't want to say null and voids that Iowa State loss, because that Iowa State loss is there for the rest of the year. It's just, I think it kind of brings them back down to, in my senses.
Okay. Well, that's funny you should mention that. My number 6 team is the Boilermakers. Still a believer in this squad. Good interior play, some good shooters on the wings. Hell of a coach in Matt Painter. We're going to find out. Big Ten is going to be, it's much like the SEC. It's a grinder. Every game's tough. We saw that. Hell, Penn State taking Michigan to the wire last night. I think the Boilermakers are going to prove that they've got what it takes. Give me Purdue at 6.
And my number 6 ties in with another comment that we just got, another question. This one's for both of us right here.
Okay.
I can tell. My number 6 is the Houston Cougars. And the question is from Mark. Where does Sampson rank as a coach, do you think, currently?
I've said this on the show before. I think he's my number 1.
All right.
If you told me,
easy.
If I was the athletic director and I had, I could hire anybody.
You had Texas Tech money.
Don't get me wrong. Coach Shire at Duke is fantastic. Bill Self. I mean, the list goes on. Matt Painter, I mentioned earlier. It doesn't matter for me. I've said it before. I've said it again. I take Kevin Sampson all day. What he's done at Oklahoma, at Houston. I mean, the guy, I just love the way he coaches basketball. I love the defense his teams play. So, number 1 for me.
Hey, that leads into my number 6, Houston. That win against Texas Tech, a big one. And I just feel like going into this now kind of peaceful stretch for them in a little bit of this Big 12 play, I think that it's at the right time, because they lost to Tennessee, went right back up, and they started kind of going down again, you know what I mean? The Cincinnati win 67-60. Now they're coming back up against Texas Tech, or after that win against Texas Tech. I think that they're just going to stay. They got a pretty simplistic Big 12 schedule for the next couple weeks. And, I mean, who knows? We might be talking about how Oklahoma State beat them by 20 in the next few weeks. I honestly don't know.
I don't see anybody beat Houston by 20, dude. If you beat Houston, you're going to beat them by 5 or 6 at the most. I I feel like but yeah, I see what you're saying there. Well, I've got another Big 12 team coming up at 5, and that's the Cyclones, man. They're undefeated. I do think that they may take a loss at Kansas. I predicted it, but until it's like Ric Flair said: to beat the man, you got to beat the man. You got to beat the man. And right now, they're
Are
right
the man
there
of the
with,
Big 12.
I mean, well, them and a team that I'm going to mention a little later.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah,
I forgot.
but yeah, I got the Cyclones at 5. What say you, Duck?
At number 5, I got UConn. UConn, and you were talking about how you might regret that pick in a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Think about how I feel. If Ed Cooley, who threw a water bottle at a child earlier this year, gets a win against the UConn Huskies, I might just stop watching basketball for a few days.
Well, I'll tell you what. If they get the victory, next time you come down to Bartlett, I'll chuck one of these Michelob Ultra cans at you, and maybe that'll give us some good luck on the podcast.
But I mean, UConn has just been a elite team. I think they're one of those few that can win a national title. It's just Big East play. The Big East is the weakest it's been in a couple of years, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it last year when you had St. John's, you had UConn, you had Marquette coming off of the past couple of years of dominance that they had in the Big East, just the regular season wise. And I mean, DePaul played a great tournament there. The one game that they played was just insane in that one. I remember watching that one right there. It was like top to bottom. It was just kind of a pretty good conference. This year, it's the complete opposite. UConn runs it. St. John's is there still. They just
Creighton's there too, but I
Creighton's
agree
there.
with you.
Marquette's fallen off of a cliff.
Good Lord, yeah. Well, at number 4, I think I'm going to shock you with here. I know they went to overtime with Seattle. I don't care. I've got the Gonzaga Bulldogs at number 4. I think this team is built to make a run, much like previous Gonzaga teams are built to make a run. We're talking about coaches. They got a hell of a coach up there too. I understand Seattle, not a perennial basketball powerhouse. I understand they took them to overtime, but give me the Zags at number 4.
I must have memory loss or something. I forgot to put Gonzaga in here.
It's okay.
If I could redo this right now, I'd put Gonzaga in between my 4 and my 5, so they'd be my new 5. Everyone would just move down. So I'm saying Gonzaga's at 5 now. UConn's at 6, Houston 7.
Okay. Do-overs.
I wanna apologize to the Spokane community for that. My number 4 is Iowa State. They're undefeated. I think out of all the undefeateds left, though, they probably are the weakest one, or them and Vandy are the weaker.
I think Vandy is definitely, but yeah, I see.
Yeah, Vandy's definitely the weakest, but the number 3 is Iowa State for sure. Or number 4 is Iowa State. Then I think Nebraska might be a little bit better than Iowa State. I'm just going to say that right now. I think that they could be.
Interesting.
But Iowa State, number 4, they beat Purdue. Enough said. They are the big dog, or the second big dogs of the Big 12 right now. There's another big dog left.
And I'm fixing to mention them right now. Number 3, Arizona. I understand that the Wildcats have not lost a ball game. And I understand that a lot of people would say, well, Matt, Arizona should be at number 1 on this list. That's why these are power rankings, and this is subjective. I want to see Arizona get tested again, and they're fixing to in Big 12 play. I think that they are a team that could win a national title, but I've got to see more from them. Koa Pete is a beast, great coaching, but let me see some more. So I've got the Wildcats at 3.
Got a DJ
That's
as the
right.
head coach. My number 3, I got the Duke Blue Devils. They have one loss on the season, Texas Tech. They're a good team. They're a great team by far. Cam Boozer's amazing on the court. It's just, I think my 2 and my 1 are not by far, but they are. Duke's here, they're here, type thing. And I mean, the AP poll kind of agrees with me because my number one and my number two were separated by one vote
Yeah,
this week.
I got that. Well, I think I'm going to probably surprise you a little here. Number two, I've got the Michigan Wolverines.
Okay.
I understand that Michigan has not taken a loss. I understand that Michigan has beat teams by 25 points on the reg. I think Coach May has a squad. I think they can win a national title. Don't get me wrong. I'm going with the eye test. I think that my number one is maybe a little more of a complete team. It's really close, but yeah, I got the Wolverines at 2.
Number 2, I have Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Koa Pete is a stud. I mean, the whole team from top to bottom, studs. They just have not expressed the same dominance as my number 1 team in the nation. And saying that, you know who it is, who my number 1 team is. But and I know who your number 1 team is now because
I've got the Duke Blue Devils. It's just I understand that they've been in some close ball games. I understand that Texas Tech beat them. Man, and I'm not a Duke fan by any stretch of the imagination. Did not grow up rooting for them like a lot of people did, but I just really like this team. I think it's got the pieces that are there. Now, don't get me wrong. I think there's probably 6, 7, 8 teams in my top 10 that can win the national title. Clever. But Duke's my number 1. So go ahead and tell me what you got up there. We know it's the Wolverines.
The Wolverines. I mean, Michigan has just been dominant. They are the only team, I think, possibly ever to win 3 straight ranked games by 25 plus.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I've ever seen a team in this early stretch of the way just be as crushing as Michigan is. They play a different type of defense. They're scoring. Anyone on that floor can score, and they have a bench right there. Honestly, they've made it legitimately look like in Missouri, a Class 5 team coming down to play a Class 1 team. Like half the county is on one side for the Class 5 team, and then the Class 1 team has like 4 players on their bench that will get in, and the rest are water boys.
Well, it'd be interesting to see next week where these rankings go. It's a fluid thing, and yeah. All right, so for our special segment of the week, me and Charlie had talked about doing a few things. I brought this one up. I think that this year in college basketball, there are a lot of really good players. I think that a lot of people are talking about this draft is going to be a very deep one.
The midseason Wooden Award watch list came out. The top 25 did. Mm-hmm. And since you're speaking of them, I just want to quickly list them off just because I got them in alphabetical order for me, sorted. We got Darius Acuff Jr., Nate Ahmet, Cam Boozer, Jaden Bradley, Michael Brown Jr., Tucker DeVries, AJ Dybansa, Kingston Flemings, PJ Haggerty, Thomas Hogg, Graham Ike, Joshua Jefferson, Alex Caravan, Trey Kaufman-Wren, Yaxel Lindenborg, Taman Lipsy, Koa Pete, Darren Peterson, LeBaron Philon, Emmanuel Sharp, Braden Smith, Bennett Sturts, Bruce Thornton, JT Toppin, and Caleb Wilson. And I can only see like 4 people even standing a shot at the end of this all with a chance to win that Wooden Award. It's Cam Boozer, AJ Dybansa, Koa Pete, and Yaxel Lindenborg.
Well, that's true, but man, think about all that talent that you just named off. There is a lot of good players this year. So it prompted me and Charlie to come up with an idea. And, first our original idea was named the top 5 NCAA players of all time, which I've decided to do. But I thought, well, our list will probably be a little the same. So after talking a little bit today, we decided that I'll do that. And then Charlie will name off the top 5 that you've seen play in your lifetime, correct?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, you've seen some good players play. Instead of going alternating, why don't you have the floor and you take your top 5, buddy?
I want to put 2 honorable mentions here real quick.
Okay.
Karl Anthony Towns.
And
Beast at
Kentucky.
He was a beast at Kentucky. and I don't have it written down here fully. But Kemba Walker is my other one.
Yeah. Ooh, man, that run he
I got
made
it.
from the Big East tournament all the way to the NCAA title. Heck of a choice, Charlie. Heck of a choice.
Those are my 2 honorable mentions. Okay,
Okay.
my top 5. I got Doug McDermott at my 5.
Yeah, I can see
That boy
that.
was shooting the lights out at Creighton. You go back and watch Creighton highlights, early 2010s, mid 2010s. Whoa. Number 4, I got Jalen Brunson, national champ with Nova. He was just different at Villanova, and that's the reason why the Knicks have kind of made the
Big
team
body
Villanova.
Brunson,
I mean,
baby. You know that's my guy.
the Nova Knicks, really. My number 3, I got Anthony Davis, Kentucky. He was a beast at Kentucky.
You know
And
Brown Anthony.
I don't know how you're going to feel about this number 2, but I have, and I will fight till the day I die about how good this man's run was in college. He's an Iowa Hawkeye. It's Luka Garza. I will defend Luka Garza at Iowa till the day I die. He was different there. I mean, consensus first team All-American back-to-back years, college player of the year from Sporting News back-to-back years, national player of the year
It's true.
in 21. I mean, he won the Pete Newell Big Man Award twice and the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Award twice, and was Big Ten Player of the Year back-to-back years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just
Yeah, I mean, that's a resume that you cannot argue with.
He ran it at Iowa for
It's a hell of a
4
resume.
years. And my number 1, he's a freak off the court. He was a freak at Duke. Give me Zion.
Yeah.
I mean, he was different at Duke, and it really just has not shown with the Pelicans at all. But
Well, he's had trouble staying healthy. But yeah, in college, there was no defending that guy. I think that's a great list, man.
What did Stephen A say about him that one time? He'll eat the whole menu.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great list. I forgot about Garza and how good he really was, and Brunson. I mean, that's a fantastic list. My top 5. Well, first of all, I'll go with my honorable mentions, but I want to say a disclaimer that very few of these guys even played in my lifetime. In my lifetime, there were some guys that I, thought about putting on this list, but after looking at the stats, they couldn't make it. I mean, Tyler Hansborough from Poplar Bluff, Missouri, shout out. He was a great college player. Christian Leitner, he didn't make it. He was a heck of a player. Steph Curry at Davidson, Ed O'Banion. I mean, the list goes on. Hakeem Olajuwon. Patrick Ewing. These are guys that did not make my list, including Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Right, so
okay.
My honorable mentions, I had 3. Jerry Lucas from Ohio State.
That's
Hell
fair.
of a player. Actually, I had 4 because I combined one, but David Thompson from NC State. Man, National Player of the Year, Final Four MVP, great run he had. And the 2 that I really wanted to put on because they're interchangeable together, but I just couldn't do it because of the top 5 being so stout, are Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. Played against each other in the 79 final. I mean, Indiana State, Michigan State, they ended up having such a great rivalry throughout the years in the association. But that's how stout this top 5 is, Charlie.
Okay. Lay
At
it
number
on me.
5, got Oscar Robertson. Now,
Okay.
let me tell you about what Oscar did while he was at Cincinnati. He averaged 33.8 points a game, 7.1 rebounds, and 15.2 assists. Okay? 3 times was the National Player of the Year. 3-time All-American.
Ooh.
And that's at number 5, my friend.
How many national titles did he win?
None. And that's why he's at 5.
Dang.
Okay? At 4, we've got a man who you may have heard of that played at San Francisco. His name's
I know.
Bill
Okay,
Russell.
Bill Russell.
Yeah. Let me tell you what Bill did.
Plus my foot.
20.7 points a game and 20.3 rebounds a game for Bill Russell at San Francisco. 2-time national champ at San Francisco, mind you.
Do you know the San Fran mascot? Let me ask you that.
I don't. What is it?
The Dons. I'm pretty
That's
sure.
right. The damn San Francisco Dons. That's right. He was the 2-time champ. He was the Final Four player of the what's it called? Player of
Most
the
outstanding
tournament.
player.
Yeah, most outstanding player. He was also a two-time National Player of the Year. So Bill Russell at 4. At 3, man, this guy, he holds a place dear in my heart. Even though, luckily, I wasn't a Memphis State fan when he killed him in the final, but he's a huge fan of the Grateful Dead. He just passed away, I believe it was a year or two ago, maybe last year. I can't remember. Of course, I'm talking about Big Red Bill Walton.
Okay.
Bill Walton at UCLA, let me tell you what he did. He was a two-time national champ, two-time Final Four player of the tournament, or most outstanding. Player. While he was in college, he averaged 20.3 points a game and 15.7 rebounds. And this stat blew my mind. He was a 3-time National Player of the Year at UCLA. Bill Walton killed Memphis in the, I believe it was 1972 finals. He was a great NBA player too. Had some injuries that didn't necessarily work out. By all accounts, a great man and a fellow deadhead. So shout out to Big Red. This was tough here. This was tough because 1 and 2, it's tough. I had to figure out what I valued more. And I think you're going to be surprised when you hear that my number 2 is Pistol Pete Maravich.
That's who I was expecting him at 2 whenever you said it would shock me.
It was tough. I thought about putting him at 1 because when I read off this stat line, it's going to blow your mind. 44.2 points a game he averaged at LSU. 5 assists, 6.4 rebounds. He did that without a three-point line. This guy was a walking bucket. Just a phenomenal player. He was also a 2-time National Player of the Year, a 3-time scoring champ, and a 3-time SEC Player of the Year. I mean, it's hard to beat that, but yeah, this guy at number 1 had something that Pistol Pete didn't have. He had rings, and he had it to back it up. He's the second UCLA player to be on the list. Back then, he went by the name Lou Alcindor. Of course, he eventually changed it to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And let me just read what Mr. Lou did.
I'll lay back because I know this resume is like.
Well, I kept it kind of short.
Oh, okay.
26.4 points a game, 15.5 rebounds a game. Could you imagine a kid doing that in college right now?
Oh, I mean, no. There's no one even comparable.
He won 3 national titles. In those 3 national titles, he was the most outstanding player of the tournament all 3 times. He was a 2-time National Player of the Year, and how he didn't end up with 3 of those, I don't know. Dude, part of a UCLA dynasty with John Wooden that I
was going to say the Wooden domination.
They won. I mean, just fabulous player. Ended up being an all-time great in the NBA and a fabulous man by all accounts too. So that's my list for the top 5 NCAA basketball players of all time.
I want to just compare our 2 lists for a second because the players you named off, mostly all are NBA legends and like top 30 at least.
Yeah, I think the only one that's not
Pistol Pete.
No.
Is the
Oh yeah, I think Bill Walton too. So
Walton has a ring. Walton has 2 rings.
Yeah. Pistol ended up dealing with some injuries. I think he actually played in the ABA for a little bit too. Pistol did.
I think he did. Yeah, but then you compare it to mine, and I had Luka Garza at my 2, and he is like the 7th man on the Celtics right now. He was like the 10th man on the Wolves a couple of years ago. Doug McDermott. Where is Doug McDermott at?
I have no clue.
I have no
played
clue.
in the Big 3?
No. You know he ain't playing in the Big 3. I do want to give you a live update real quick from Lexington, Kentucky, as it is 69-68, 15 seconds to go. Mizzou shooting free throws. They just got fouled. Kentucky had a couple bad turnovers. They have the lead. Mizzou does.
M-I-Z.
Z-O-U. And
man, that's fantastic.
1.5 minutes left in Providence. It's 86-84 now. Providence still leads. UConn shooting free throws, and Marquette beats Xavier. I have a multi-view down here. I had this prepared for
course you do.
these close scoring games. Miami looks like they might hold against Wake. Miami is another sneaky ACC team this year that
Yeah,
no
they've
one's
really rebounded,
talked
you know,
about.
losing their coach, you know, and
They've
really,
recruited. They've recruited
they have.
very well. I
Speaking
think
of Miami, before we go off the air, you know, I'm wearing the hat. Tomorrow is the biggest game in the history of my alma mater. Ole Miss plays Miami in what I've heard deemed as the Confederates versus the Confederates versus the convicts. I don't necessarily like that, but it is kind of funny. Tomorrow night, Charlie, I will be watching and rooting with all of my heart. But if we do fall short to the Canes, I just want to say how great a season this has been. I want to say big props to Keith Carter. Big props to Pete Golding.
what about Lane
Big
Kiffin?
props to Trinidad Chambliss. What a player. Like, this guy is legitimately making a run at, like, being the best. To me, he's been the best player in the playoffs. Ruben Bain, you can make a case for him. We're going to see him tomorrow night too. But, you know, before we sign off, I'd be remiss if I didn't say, hell yeah, damn right. Let's go Rebels, hotty toddy.
All right. So with that one, I feel like it puts a bow on it. Actually, let's stay on for these last 10 seconds of Kentucky and Mizzou. Okay? Mizzou is up 3 right now. Kentucky's going to roll the ball up court. Actually, they're going to call timeout. Who cares? I hate teams calling timeouts like that. So, for me, Charlie, you know, obviously the smarter of the two Ducks, right?
I won't argue with that.
Yeah.
Me, the better looking, and father.
Okay.
Matt Duckworth. We really appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to us carry on about college hoops. We'll be back next week, and we'll talk about some of these predictions we made. Hopefully, we'll rag on Charlie for being wrong. We'll be back with our top 10s, and we'll have another special segment for you next week.
Why do you want to bully me so much?
I love you, son. You know it.
Sure. All right. Thank you all for watching Duck Hoops. Tomorrow, catch Cooter versus Hayti here on Boot Hill Sports Network, and then catch South Penn versus Malden Friday night. Malden Crothersville. That was a good game last night. If you missed that one,
it was a great call by you, Charlie. Good call too.
Yeah, tune in Saturday. Me and Travion are going to be in Delta High School for the next air shootout. Crothersville versus St. Vincent. So you can catch us anywhere on the Boot Hill Sports Network, whether it be Duck Hoops, whether it be basketball. I mean, who knows? I might cover a baseball game or two.
I'll tell you right now, the Boot Hill Sports
Network
is your go-to for all the local sports back home. I really wish we'd have had this years ago. I'm thrilled to have my small little part in it, man.
It's your local source for high school sports in the boot. That's all I got to say. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back next week with more Duck Hoops.